All right, you mad mongrels. For the last few weeks, I've been driving Kia Tasmans. I've driven a bunch of different ones. I've driven the SX, I've driven the X-Line. And if you're interested in seeing just a really quick walk around of those, I'll put a link up here, there, and you can just see kind of the similarities and differences. It's a really quick video. And there's this one. This one's the X Pro. So this one is the one that's supposed to justify the range and just be, you know, the granddaddy of them all. Kia thought that this was going to be a really big thing. They thought they were going to sell tens of thousands of these things. To date, they've sold under 4,500. So in this video, we're going to strip away the hype. I've driven it for a fair few weeks. I'm going to tell you what I think about it. No celebrities, no ads, just what I've thought about living with the Kia Tasman X Pro. Now, just so you know, this one didn't come with a tow bar, so I couldn't tow like the Ranger plug-in hybrid, couldn't tow the Caravan. And to be honest, I've got a pregnant wife, lots of things on. I haven't been able to take it off-road either, but not many utes are gonna do all that all the time. A lot of them are just gonna spend their time on the bitumen, carting the family around. So that's the angle that this video is coming from. But just quickly before we get into it, let's recap the range. So there's the S, the SX, the SX Plus, X-Line, and the X Pro. Now the S will start at about $43,000 drive away, and it goes all the way up to this, which is about $78,000 drive away before you add on any of the colors or any accessories, anything you want. I will say this, the SX that I drove in silver and the X-Line that I drove in black, not a fan. Thought it was quite, I'm not gonna say hideous, but I didn't think it was the best looking thing. In this color, I actually quite like the look of this. I think this color completely changes the look of the vehicle. But looks aside, this price puts it in competition with things like the Wild Track. And that is a really good ute. And it also puts it in conversation of some of the V6 things like the V6 Wild Track and the Amarok as well. So, lot to kind of measure up against. But first, let's see what you actually pay for. First up, the X Pro leans pretty hard into the I might leave the bitumen kind of sometimes vibe. You get 17-inch wheels with all terrains. You get extra underbody protection and proper recovery points around the vehicle as well. But inside is where the Kia really flexes, because you get a whole bunch of tech and it is really, really nice. So you get two 12.3-inch screens plus a little screen in here for all your climate control and fan settings and all that sort of thing. You've got twin wireless charging bays here, as well as two USB-C ports, wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay too. And here's your two big screens. There's the third one, so you just click through here for all your different settings, and then you've got the other 12.3-inch screen there. Now the other Kias in the range, not the Tasmans, just other, normally that's a touch. Hey, calm down, what have I done? All right. Normally that's a touchscreen or something like that. That's the same across the range. You'll see that in the other video. Don't forget to watch it. Click up there somewhere. There's also plenty of storage. There's storage here, big door bins, because you get a drink bottle in there. That's pretty small, but you know, you've got that there. You can also, hang on, I'll move this drink bottle. Bit of a workbench, so if you are using this for work, you can put your laptop, your iPad, your paperwork, whatever, and have a bit of a workbench, which is pretty handy. You're seeing that on a fair few utes now though too. Here's all your controls, your 4 low, 4 high, and all your terrain modes too, locking diff. There are a fair few buttons on the steering wheel though, but you know, that's all laid out pretty well. I like that these are down here and not cluttered up there. It will take a little bit to get used to the gear selector here on the SX. It's a proper one there. I actually prefer the layout, the general layout on the SX, because that's a proper gear selector there. It takes a little bit to get used to. You will get used to it though, so I wouldn't let that deter you from buying. But then you get USB-C ports all around the car. In true kind of Hyundai, Kia, Genesis fashion, you get these buttons here so you can move the passenger seat. The seats are heated and ventilated as well, so everyone's going to get really comfortable. And you can see these leather seats. They're really, really comfortable, and these have to be the nicest headrests to use on any car I've driven in 2025. But you also get ambient lighting around the car, and there is a premium Harman Kardon sound system. So this is really, really well set up, and a sunroof. So yeah, it's a really nice interior, and I'm going to say it's the nicest interior on a ute on the market today. Now, the rear seats are also a really good place to be as well. So you get a 240-volt socket down there, so you can plug anything you want into there, a laptop, just a regular phone charger if you don't have USB-C, which the ports are there. Cup holders, and you've got like a little iPad holder, phone holder here. No mat pockets in the traditional sense, but you do get these zip up kind of, they look like waterproof kind of scuba diving pockets, and something to hold your phones and stuff up there as well. These seats, now if I jump off here, you get extra storage under here, which actually really does come in handy, because I'm ashamed to say it, a herb garden that I had to move, and by putting this up, it sat perfectly in there and it didn't spill anything. There was no water, but in that case, rubber floor mats anyway, so you just take them out and wash them. There are a few things that have been excluded though, but before I show you those, let me know what you think of this thing in the comments in terms of looks, because it has been quite polarizing since it's been launched. As I said, I liked it in this color, silver and black. Nah, forget about it, I wouldn't buy it. But anyway, so with a pregnant wife, two things I've noticed is no side steps as standard. Really annoying for her to get in and out of the vehicle. And then the other thing is that there is absolutely no tawny cover, so everything exposed. You do get a good racking system in there, and you get a 240-volt socket, tie down points, everything like that, but yeah, no tawny. And you do get this kind of step here, which does make it handy to get in and out of. These taillights look alright too. They kind of remind me of the BMW 2 Series, M2. Now, every single Kia Tasman, whether you get the S, the SX, the SX Plus, the X-Line, the X Pro, all come with a 2.2 litre 4-cylinder turbo diesel engine. It puts out 154 kilowatts, 440 newton meters of torque, and there's a 8-speed transmission that puts it all to ground. Now look, those numbers, they're not the greatest, especially when you've got Ford's V6 and some other competing ones. It is pretty punchy though, and it picks up really well because the gearbox does a lot of work. It shifts pretty quickly, and it makes some really good decisions when dropping down gears to make sure that you're staying in the power band and you have that pick up and get up and go to overtake when you're out in the country or something like that. But honestly, I think the biggest thing I like about this Kia Tasman is just how easy it is to live with, because look, the ride is really comfortable. It's not as, soft and plush as a Ford Ranger, but it is really nice. I'd say it's probably the second best ride to the Ranger and Amarok on the market today. It is a bit stiff in the rear end, and I did notice that again. My wife's pregnant, so those bumps really did knock her. The front's fine, the back is a bit stiff, and it has to be, to carry the payload, but yeah, it's not as car-like as the Ranger, but it is really good. And also just parking's really easy. The steering's fairly light. Parking's really easy. You've got 360-degree camera on this X Pro, and you've got, all the buzzers and bonks and, sensors, that's the word I'm looking for, to make sure that you're not bumping into things, because it is a big car. So it says just here, it's 5.4 meters long and 1.9 meters high. Big. And it's also 1.9 meters wide. So yeah, it's a fairly big car, but it is easy to park and it is really easy to live with. Now, speaking of sensors and everything like that, Kia's throwing the kitchen sink at this in terms of safety. There's AEB, there's lane centering, lane keep. There's, as I said, all the cameras, 360-degree camera. You've got blind spot monitors. There's too many acronyms for me to rattle off here, but yeah, it is a safe car. The other thing that I've noticed is it's not as intrusive as some of the older, and when I say older, I mean, obviously last iterations of the software. It's not as intrusive as those as well. So, when you're driving, it's not constantly pulling you side to side or trying to get you centered, even when you are, or bouncing you off. The shoulder and the striped line. Yeah, they've refined it, and you can really tell. And the driver monitor warning isn't just constantly telling you that you're not looking, even when you are, or you just look away or look at the camera for 3.5 seconds. And just quickly, I'll touch on the off-road aspect of this. Obviously, I said I can't take it off-road, but it does come with all the gear. It's got a low range gearbox, it's got rear locking diffs, it's got a rock crawl mode, and it's got decent clearance as well, and the underbody protection. With the all-terrains, it doesn't really feel like a fake off-roader. It does really feel like something that you could take anywhere, as you know, people say, and it will do the job. And while I'm at it, I'll do the same thing for towing. 3.5 tons, and you get an integrated brake controller as well. So look, on paper, 440 Newton meters payload, you've got integrated brake controllers. This thing should, on paper, tow really well. Whether it does or not, I would like to get it back with a tow bar and check it out, but we'll see what happens. Now, having driven the SX, the X-Line, and now the X Pro, what do I think is the sweet spot in the lineup? Well, the SX is probably, it's good for most people. It's a more affordable option. I do think the X-Line is probably the sweet spot, and I'm going to put an asterisk there because, you know, you get a bit more extra comfort, but yeah, it doesn't go all the way. But with some of the deals that Kia are offering at the moment, if you can snag one of these for closer to the X-Line price, I think you're doing a very good job, because this top of the line X Pro it's a pretty, I'm lost for words. No, it's a really good ute, and I've said it a few times now, it's one of the top ones on the market. I'd say second or third to, you know, the Ranger. It's, despite what everyone's saying, I'm enjoying this thing, living with this. This Kia Tasman, it feels like a really good first attempt from Kia. Look, it's loaded with tech, it's comfortable, the ride's good. It does miss a few things, you know, the tonneau cover. The side steps are a real big omission, especially for families if you're going to be dailying this. My wife found it really difficult to get in. She's pregnant, but yeah, really difficult to get in. The engine, look, it's, you know, you've got some V6 options out there. It's not the most powerful. The 2.2 towing, I don't know. Again, I haven't towed, so I can't really comment. So I'll leave that out. But overall, I do think that this is a good first attempt from Kia. Let me know in the comments what you think about it. Is it overpriced? Have they undercooked it? Have they overcooked it? Have they thought about, obviously, the design? Tell me what you think about the design. I'd love to see your thoughts there, because I'd love to see what you think the overall design, and then in this beige color, because I think in this beige color it looks really good. Anyway, I'll talk to you in the next one.